What's going on, everybody? We are back at it with our week in review. It's been an action-packed week, even though it's a short week. Good Friday tomorrow. It's a Holy Week. Lots of stuff going on. I have an iftar tonight, celebrating my friends in the Muslim community. So many things happening in our ward. So let's go, and here is our week in review. Last Saturday, I had an opportunity to go to the Bahandi Singers for the Philippine University and their fundraiser. So it was a really unique event where they had a choir coming and singing, and it was the group that is all alumni from Philippine University, and they were doing it as a fundraiser for their scholarship fund. So it was a great opportunity to hang out with them. I got to go to the Meadowvale 7-Day Adventist Church before then, so it was like a faith-filled Saturday in the community. So thank you so much to all of our community partners who are doing great work and giving back to our young people. There's just so amazing things that are happening in our community. So thank you so much for that. At Council on the 27th, we reviewed the future directions, which is looking at fire and emergency services, parks, forestry, and other departments within the city, and how we're moving all these directions over the next 10 years. We're looking at parks, adding, looking at where we're going to add domes, places like the Meadowvale 4 Rinks, what a redevelopment looks like in the next decade. All these things that move towards the notion of an active, healthy Mississauga. These are the pieces that we're looking at, and it was a fantastic time.
So I just want to commend our staff on the work that they're doing, and there are people that are looking for this, and I know that my family has been one of those families that has been looking for these opportunities and these facilities to come along.
We've had so many consultations, so it is finally approved, and we're going to move forward on lots of things in our city. So one of the things that is coming up at council this week is the asset naming rights. So let's take a look at this real quick. It's a corporate report called City Asset Naming Policies, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Review. Back in January of 2022, City Mississauga Council approved going through this process of looking at assets that are named. So when we say assets, we're talking about everything from city plaques to museum collections, tree and bench donations, all those different things, naming of actual buildings, and things along those lines. So there's a whole document here that we have that we'll be approving that gives recommendations on the 6 principles to guide asset naming and commemorative activities. So everything is going to be based in community consultation, the indigenous recognition and prioritization, environmental and historical stewardship, navigational clarity, descriptive relevance, uniqueness and adaptability, and legislative compliance. So I'm really thankful to staff for putting together a fulsome report. There's just so much that's in this, and is so well thought out so that we can address naming and looking at assets within the city of Mississauga and how we go about this whole process. So that's coming to council this Wednesday. What also is coming to council this Wednesday is something that's near and dear to my heart. We have a situation in Ward 9 where the Chartwell retirement residence is being closed down, and our seniors, over 200 seniors, are being evicted. This week in council, we have a number of people who are coming to do delegations and deputations, and they're going to share their experience. And from that, I want to move into a conversation, a discussion about how we can address this as a city, because this is outside of our purview. It's a private sale, so we didn't have to be part of the sale. But our seniors are going to be homeless if nothing is done. So I want to continue to work with Chartwell, work with our region and other community partners to ensure that we can take care of them. So this is what is coming to front in our community, because this can't happen, and there's some big gaps financially that need to be dealt with. And I'm hoping that Chartwell will come to the table and do right by our seniors who have been evicted, and all of our community partners will come in and save the day as well. So let's work on that together. That's coming to council as well. And the last thing I want to mention too is apartment building standards and maintenance program updates, and how we've been changing these standards and ensuring that our residents that live in the buildings have a framework and some accountability. So thank you so much to our teams that have been working on this. check out the replay for this and just learn more about what standards we've set in place, because we know a lot of the people who live in our city are in buildings where they're not being taken care of properly, and we need to be able to have a mechanism to ensure that they are safe. So I appreciate all the work that's been done on that. And once again, that is from last week's council. So we looked at apartment building standards, and there's a great conversation that was had in the link. So maybe we'll put that link out there for you as well. That's about it. Watch the replay. I'll show you a replay of my week in review from the week before. There's been so many things that have been happening in the background, meetings with Chartwell, and trying to address the seniors. So this has been all hands on deck for the last week, and we're working so hard on this in the background. But I wanted to get you up to date, so if you want to tune into council, you can learn more about our city assets, naming protocols that are in place, and other things that are happening week over week. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please join the ward9.ca website and get on to your newsletter and find out what's happening week over week. There's so many great things that are happening in our community. Thank you all. Have a great weekend.